Hello folks, and welcome into day 8 of your Race to World First daily recap. My name is Kexman and we have finally hit the reset for both NA and EU. Now the race is entering the final stretch. Be sure to follow me so you never miss out on any of your recaps, and before we get into the action, let's take a look at the leaderboard from our friends at Raider.io. Head over to raider.io/RWF for a live look. This leaderboard is correct as of 5:30 PM BST. In first place, we have Liquid, Echo in second, Method in third, in fourth, Hotpot Hero, in fifth, JTH, in sixth, we have Zbox, End Myth in seventh, Fat Shark Yes in eighth, in ninth, Instant Dollars, and in 10th, Loget. Day 8 of the race began with the always interesting time of NA having their reset, but EU not having theirs. Both Echo and Method continued to push hard with Silken Court, knowing that a world second was up for grabs, and the first to grab it would be making a statement. It was Echo that once again found that extra push and claimed the kill, very shortly after the last recap went up. They went on to take a couple of pulls on Ansurek to get some information before heading to bed, happy in the knowledge that they had got to Ansurek within the same lockout as Liquid. The sun began to rise in NA, and the depths of Nerub-ar Palace were quaking in their spider boots as it was time for Liquid to start both the re-clear of Mythic and their heroic splits ready for Queen Ansurek. They made very quick work of the bosses, including some Mythic trash farms for the BOEs that drop. Meanwhile, Method was still plugging away at Silken Court, yet it was starting to get late into the day for the team. Midnight passed, and with the reset happening in less than 6 hours, everyone was expecting to see them accept the fact that the court was going to go unkilled for them. Yet, despite everything telling us that they would head to bed ready for the long day of reset, they continued on. Midnight turned into 1 AM that turned into 2 AM, with a huge jump in progression every so often. Eventually, the breakthrough was in sight with a 1.37% wipe, and this seemed to pick the energy levels of the raiders up. However, they were no longer fighting just the sleep boss, but also the maintenance boss, with servers going down at 3 AM. On their final pull before the servers go down, they gave it their all, and in a heartbreaking moment they fell at the 3% mark. It looked as though Method were going to end the first week with an unkilled Silken Court, and very obviously behind both Liquid and Echo. But then, this happened.
Hopefully shortly. You thought we were going to quit? You guys thought we were going to give up, huh?
In a move that nobody saw coming, the entire raid team made the decision to stay up and hope the maintenance finished before the reset. Luck seemed to be on their side, and the servers came up within 30 minutes of them going down, enabling the team to go in before the reset. This was very much a double-edged sword. If they kill the boss, they keep up with Liquid and Echo in the same reset, and they claim an extra vault slot plus boss loot. If they don't kill, however, they fall very far behind on their sleep, and will have to work even harder to catch up on re-clears, plus Silken Court progression. With everyone in the raid continuing to be powered in the belief that they could take this boss down, as well as it being in the real gamer hours, the gambit finally paid off for them, and Silken Court went down just after 4 AM local time. A huge amount of commitment from Method, and it shows just how much this race means to them. As Method decided to head to bed for some well-deserved sleep, Liquid continued their march through the reset jobs ahead of them, and finally made their way to Nexus Princess Kaiveza. It was going to be interesting to see how tough this boss would be on the re-clear, and whilst it was still a difficult encounter, taking Liquid 12 pulls to take her down, it was certainly significantly easier than before. They breezed past Silken Court in 7 pulls, and then it was time for the real progression to start. They pulled Queen Ansurek a number of times, but progression was very heavily focused on P1, with very little time to see anything past the intermission, which was reached very briefly for the team. They called the raid night slightly early, knowing that both Echo and Method had to repeat what Liquid had just done, giving them a slight buffer before they really made progress. The EU teams did eventually wake up, Method much later than Echo, and started their reclears, with Echo currently working on Kai'Veza and Method working through their final heroic splits before a Brood Twister re-kill. Meanwhile, below the big three, we have Hot Pot Hero still working on their potential World 4th Silken Court kill, with the Chinese reset happening Thursday. We also have a lot of guilds still working on Nexus Princess, as you can see on screen with the current pull counts. This boss continues to be super difficult for almost every single guild, and it will be a huge breakthrough for any of these guilds to claim the next kill. The race is heating up as the big three will all finally be progressing on Queen Ansurek. Will Liquid continue their dominance at the top? Will Echo be able to catch up as they have historically been able to do? Or can Method make their late night play count in the long run? Only time will tell, so be sure to follow for more Race to World First daily recaps.